Okay, so before I hand over to Bro Dio, do you think there's any question that would benefit someone out there that we not talk about today that you want to like ask and we can briefly talk about it?
I think I do.
Okay.
So, how can an individual like so what can we tell an individual that have been affected by this COVID-19 and is already thinking about killing themselves, committing suicide because life is not hopeless? So what is something that we can use to encourage them? Because because like we talked about mental health before, and there are serious things going out there in the world. So what can we tell this kind of people? Even me myself, I want to know, because I believe that that I will come in contact with those people, even even because what was I saying? I forgot. Okay, yeah. So that's what I want to say, because there's so much pain in the world today. Some people want to end the pain. They want to stop the pain. Like, we don't want this pain anymore, and they don't know that what they are doing is really, really gonna cause them more pain, because they're gonna end up in hell, and the people that they'll leave behind will be in more and more pain. So
I'm just gonna say mine quickly. There's no perfect answer, and my answer is not the best. But from my own point of view, I just feel like, based on what Sister Della said, or from everyone said today, as long as you have life, there is hope. Hope is like when you have that opportunity that or you have that faith that something's there's a change, or something's gonna change. I think it's also like your perspective. Like, you have to change how you think. You have to be more positive to life, knowing that don't stop being worried about things that you cannot change. We are all still gonna die. I hope that is not rude, but at the end of the day, we are all gonna die. So everything's still gonna end. But just know that just live your life as if today is the last day you're gonna spend in life, right? Enjoy yourself, be free, just have a more positive thinking. And then for me, because I'm a Christian, and even though I'm a Christian, I have a relationship with God. Being a Christian is just not you going to church or having a community of friends, which is good, but having a relationship with God is what's being an actual Christian mean, right? So I feel like you should build a relationship, build a relationship with God. And if you don't know, and the thing, even though it's easier to say that build a relationship with God, find a purpose of knowing who this God is, right? So that's what I was saying. I don't know if that's a good answer, but that's how I can answer it. So any other person, maybe Sister Fumi, you want to say something? Fumi?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you want to say something based on what Emmanuel said?
Yeah, for sure. It's easier said than done, right? What is said, it's actually very realistic. It is what is happening. Even, to be honest, even as we think we know that we have relationship with God, there are times that we feel like, I'm tired of everything going around me.
Exactly.
Can I just end this? But we know fully well, just because we have that relationship with God, that ending our life, it's not the answer, it's not the solution. It's easier said than done. So what I can say is that for this person, whoever it might be, you can't do it alone. You actually have to talk to someone. Right. Being alone itself is depressing, to be honest. Just be alone on yourself, because there's something that this worry, fear, that it does to people. Just thinking about everything that is going around you, even if it hasn't actually happened, you just have that fear in you. It gives you some sort of anxiety. You just feel tense, and a lot of things are going through your mind. So it's first and foremost, you need to talk to people. You need to admit, you need to accept that you need help. It is very important. It doesn't matter spiritually, you want to talk to a psychiatrist. It doesn't really have to be spiritual right now, to be very honest. You can talk to anybody, but firstly, you need to accept the fact that I need help. I need to talk to someone. Like, I can't burden this thing in my heart alone. So once the person is said to talk to someone and ready to talk to someone, then that's the beginning to the breakthrough for the person. So talking to people, it's either you want to talk to a soul rich, you want to talk to a psychiatrist, you want to talk to a believer, but just make sure like the person should talk to someone that that can actually add purpose to your life, not the peers that's actually going to worsen your life. So talking to someone, and then like that's basically what I can say. Firstly, you have to accept the fact that you have to talk to someone. I have a problem. I have something going on with me, and I need to talk to someone. So talk to as many people that that can impact your life. As many advices you can get, as many things you can get. That's the best option, because it's not just easy to tell someone that is not a believer, just go and talk to God. It's easier said than done, like I said, but if the person doesn't have a foundation of Christ or no Christ, it's not that easy, to be very honest. So accept the fact that you have a problem, you need to talk to someone, then talk to someone. Like I say, it could be a pastor, it could be a psychiatrist or whatever, career-wise, whatever. Just accept it and then talk to someone that will impact your life positively. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
And to add, sorry, to what Stafumi said, if the person cannot talk to someone, you have the responsibility to talk to someone for them. If you don't know how to handle it, like if somebody is telling you something and you are like, what do I do with this information? You give it to someone who knows best. You give it to tell a doctor, tell a mentor, somebody that loves that person, and it's a very good what's it called, has a very good relationship, because it might not be their parents, their parents might be even one of the things causing all this. So just somebody who that the person can actually connect to, or maybe they have the same experience as them. So you have the responsibility. If you can't yourself help them, get somebody who can. And yeah, I think that's what I have to say about that.
I wanted to add, so recently I did find out one of my siblings was in that state, and how we got to know was the teacher brought it to our attention. My parents are Christians, we pray, spirituality is there, but I did feel bad because I didn't notice it. I was always busy with school and everything. So I'm saying you have to talk to someone, even if it's not spiritual or anything, but you need to talk to someone. If you're in this phase, you really need to talk to someone that would be able to help you. So my particular sibling, the teacher walked up to her and she was able to open up to that teacher, and from there we were able to talk to my particular sibling, and we were able to come up with a solution. My parents, like I said, that were all Christians, but she didn't, at that point, my particular sibling, she didn't accept that, okay, this was it. But she was actually at that point where, okay, she was already wanting to take her life. I've been hearing about depression, but I've never taken it that serious. It came very close to me, and I was like, gee, I really did feel bad, because I would always be walking, she'll come around me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm busy, and also we also have a role to play, check up on people. If you have friends that you have not heard from, reach out to them, say, hey, what's up? Even you just messaging someone and saying, how are you? It really goes a long way, because that person is like, wow. So someone can even, at that point, maybe what if the person was about to kill you and say, well, then you're like, how are you? They probably might open up to you at that point in time, but even us, so you can check up on people. I'm not that kind of person that likes to, talk to people, but after this whole thing happened, I did feel very bad, wanting to, get close to my sibling, because I'm that kind of person. I like my space. I like my territory. If you come to my space, I'm like, I'm sorry, can I have my, but then, I'm not saying that I'm not friends with my siblings. I just really like my space, and I'm very, very, very busy person, but still, like, let's also try to reach out to people. Let's talk to people. Just, hey, how are you? Hope your day is going well. Just checking up with you. Just checking up on you today. It really goes a long way. Like, you never know what all these things are until it comes close to you. When one of my siblings was in that situation, I almost broke down, because I was like, really, like, I was in this house and I did not know, like, yeah. So talk to someone, and also, you have to accept that, okay, this is what is wrong. If you don't accept it, you really can't get a solution. So yeah, like Sister Fumi said.
Yeah, thank you. Bro Dio. Or does anyone have anything to say? Sorry. Taiwo? Oh, okay. Then Dio, you can take over after.
So
Oh, Dio
about
wants to say something.
oh, can I go on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on.
Okay, so about this whole like mental health, people trying to take their lives and everything. So what I have to say is, like, first of all, you're alive. That's the big thing, right? And then you can't do it alone. You can't. But now a question that rises is, what if is the so-called person that you trust and everything that's causing you the harm? Where do you go to them? I still haven't been able to answer that question. Like, I feel the answer is you go to God. But what if, like, at that point, genuinely, at that point, Christianity goes out the window, like, oh, God is there for me. Like, you actually need someone to talk to. Like, what adults see, right, from our country, because we're all Nigerians here. So what adults see, right, is if you're a young person and you're saying you have certain problems, they're like, oh, I see a child, you haven't gone through anything in your life, which is it doesn't help the situation that person finds themselves in, right? So yeah, talk to someone, but what if the person you're talking to, like, you're expected to talk to, is that person that is causing you the harm? What do you then do?
I would like to say something about that. So it's normal. Even I might not quote this right, but then even the Bible, there is a time where you drink milk, right? And there's time where the Bible expects you to grow. You don't keep running to people every time. The start is you want to talk to someone. By the time the person help you, you should have built a relationship with God. See, there's only God that will never fail. Humans are humans. It is what it is. Only God that will never disappoint you. And then when people that you trust, they might not deliberately want to hurt you, but they still operate on the flesh. So now you need to be deliberate about your own relationship with God. So this is it. This person is hurting me. They've already shown you, like, we still work on the flesh. So now God is who you're running to right now. And sometimes when people give you advice or people advise you, it's not all advice that you take. I'm sorry. When people advise you, go back and sit. Think about it and see, like, okay, this is what this person has said. You don't necessarily have to do what I say, but you know yourself better. You can still work in line with the advice I give you, but you don't necessarily have to do it the way I say it. So people will still hurt you. People will still disappoint you. It is normal. But then you have to grow up and actually build your own relationship with God. That's what I have to say about that.
Well, what if it's someone that doesn't even know God at all? Don't you think it's like hard for the person to start like knowing God, or like being able to like know which advice is good or bad?
Well, I mean, like, you should. I mean, it depends. Like, okay, you can't tell me, like, the advice that you give me at when I'm 12 years old. You give me the same advice when I'm 25. I'm still going to think this. I'm still going to think in the same line, right? Yeah. We grow every day. Use your sense. I'm sorry to use that statement, but then yes, We go every day. Yeah, no, to be honest, you can't see if someone keep hurting you, you can't keep running to them and letting them keep hurting you. It is your life. You have to be deliberate about some decision. You have to be. I was talking to brother this afternoon. There was a point in my life that I have to let go of all my friends. I have to. It was intentional. It's either I let go or I ruin my destiny. I wasn't deep into Christ. I'm not deep still, but I'm getting there. I'm growing. But I wasn't as much I am into Christ that I then. But then I just have to, out of my own common sense, out of my own sense, I just have to make that decision. Like, you know what? I have a better life ahead of me. I have a better life ahead. I have to make this decision. I have to let them go. I have to let them go because you are not influencing me positively. So why am I keeping you? I can't keep running to someone who keeps hurting me. So like you just have to, sometimes at some point you have to be deliberate about a decision, stand your ground and use your sense. That's what I would say.
I just really hope that it's not like people that like are your immediate family that don't like hurting you, because you can't really run away from them. Because that one is like
Yeah, that's where my question was going to. I wasn't even thinking in the line of friends because friends you can't trust your age mate like all the way, to be honest. So that my question was actually about what if is someone in your family, like you can't see, oh yes, I want to use my sense and then I'll like leave my family members, right? So like that was where my question was like, yes, the answers were fine. Like I understood where the answers were coming from, but like, the question was particularly about your family members, not your friends. Because yeah, you could always leave your friends and make new friends. You can't meet new family members. So,
Um, so
but thank you for the answer. As always.
I'm going to answer what he's trying to say. I think you have to make a decision that whatever your family says will not affect you. You have to like make a firm decision in your mind, or
Exactly.
you have to make like that firm decision because you're going to be around them no matter what. So you have to
Right.
make that firm decision that okay, whatever they are saying or whatever they are doing will not affect me, and God has to be the center of that because God is the only one that can help you with that. Like and control, like even if you're not a Christian, healing doesn't come from human beings. Healing comes
Right.
from God. Help comes from God. So you can't just, like if a non-Christian, they can decide to do that, but they can still revert because their flesh is still, there's no backbone there. There's nothing holding them strong. So God is your backbone. So you have to make that decision, clear decision that whatever you're doing, whatever you're saying to me, you're my family, you're my brother, you're my sister, I will not let that affect me. I'll keep growing. You have to make that conscious mental decision that like whatever they are saying is coming like this and going out the other, or whatever they are doing is it doesn't phase you. Like you've built that courage or that sense that okay, nothing is going to phase me anymore. I'm not saying you should not have emotions, that you should not feel sad, but you should know that consciously that this is not going to it's not going to sit in me and let it fester. So I think that's what.
Yeah, that's true. And then like Moyi said, you're not, if it's your parents, you're not disobeying them. No, you're not going to disobey them. You still live under that roof. You obey them, but then you need to be deliberate about your decision. As long as you know that, your decision is from God, you're doing the right thing. Not when you're doing something contrary. Your parents are seeing it very well that this is the right way you should go. It is best for you, but you are just being unnecessarily stubborn. If it's you're getting the direction from God, if you're doing the will of God from your life, you're not disobeying them. You will still do whatever. You will still listen to them, but deliberate about, be intentional about your decision. Know what is right for you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm sorry I'm taking time. I just have to like clear up everything. What both of you said just now, fine. That's good for a Christian, right? Go to God, like make your decision, go to God and everything. How about someone that's not a Christian? Where does like the person goes to them? Because you said healing starts from when you said healing starts from God, like God is the only one that can heal, right? So someone that's not a Christian, how does the person go about then?
I think Making a decision doesn't have to do with Christian or not Christian.
Yeah,
I don't know. You can correct me if I'm
making
wrong.
it- no,
But then
making
knowing
it,
what is right
making
for
it,
you doesn't have to do with being a Christian or not Christian. Right. Nobody tells you before you eat your breakfast or lunch or dinner. You don't have to be a Christian to make a decision to do what is right.
Um, okay. The crazy thing is like this just happened recently in my family, so I can like relate to it. And at that moment, I couldn't think of God. So let's just imagine that I'm not a Christian, right? I'm talking like an unbeliever. I don't know God right now. And there was an issue that just happened in my family. And I negative things were said I never expected to be said by my Christian parents. You know? And it's like at that moment, all I could think of is, am I going to let this pull me down? All I could
Mhm.
all I could think of was, Ajola, are you better than this or you are worse than this? Are you going to stay in that level they expect you to be, or are you going to move higher? That's
Mhm.
one thing. And I have a friend who's she's her families are like really toxic. So she moved out. I think she was 15 or something like that when she moved out, and she has issues like this. And anytime she comes to me and tell me that my mom said this to me, my dad said this to me, there's some negative in my family. What do I do? What do I do? What I tell her is, I mean, I don't get this advice from nobody, but seeing situations around me, I know that some people have it worse than I do. Some people have it like some people are going through issues I can't even imagine going through. And one thing I've learned from this is that, are you that kind of person who lets people control you? Do you let the things that people say control you? I mean, of course, there's no way someone says something to you that it won't be in your heart, no matter how strong-minded you are. There's no way you won't be affected a little bit. But one thing I know is that if you're a fighter, if you're somebody who stands your ground, you don't get affected easily by these things. I mean, of course you will be like, hey, they said this to me. I'm a little bit down. But then one thing I get to know is that this life, you're living it for yourself. Of course, some people who say that, of course, it's you should care about your family members and stuff like that. But then when you are going through things, your family members are there, it's just you going through that thing. So what I would advise for someone who's not a believer is think about it. Think about it yourself. Like think about what is best for yourself. Like Auntie Fumi already said, think about yourself first. You should come first in things like this. Don't ignore what other people are saying, ignore the negative comments that they said about you, ignore the toxic environment and things like that. And think for yourself. Is this what I want? Do I want their thoughts about me to come to pass? Or do I want to stand my ground and actually make something out of myself? Then the negative things that people have said. And Nifemi and I mean Auntie Moyi and Sister Fumi has said it all, right? And I know we are emphasizing more on not on unbelievers, but that is one thing I find that if even if you are somebody that's not strong mentally, find something that can make you strong. Find that thing and stand on it. And don't let yourself be shaken by things like that.
But what if you've been fighting all your life? That's all you've been doing all your life. That okay, I will be strong all my life. They've been strong since they were a child. They've been fighting since they are I don't know 23, like or
Honestly,
or maybe they are
honestly,
still living in their parents' house.
Honestly, for a
What?
question for something like that, I would have, because I'm going through that too right now. Ever since I was little, I've had that thing. There's always negative comments. There's always negative stuff, and I don't honestly. I would like to know an answer to that too, because I'm struggling with that too, honestly. But one thing I found out is like the more you stand your ground, the better you get. Honestly, that's the only thing I can say. I don't know about numbers.
Yeah, I mean about that, like you said, you rightly said, like see, if you keep fighting, you always keep fighting until you overcome, right? So you won't just give up. Like you won't just give up. That's why you have to just like, if you're a Christian already, draw closer to God. If you are not a Christian, run to God, because humans already show you like they're human. So God is the only one who can help you right now. So find a way of how to run to God and try to get closer to Him. And if you are a Christian, keep pushing. Don't give up. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. That's it.
Oh, praise the Lord. Wow, wow, wow. Last session, It was fascinating. Man. Uh, and well, I know most of us can relate to some of the points that were discussed. And I know the last 1 year, it's been challenging for everyone. We've had to make sacrifices. We've had to, adjust to, the way we live our lives and stuff. Um, and we need to also understand we are living in unprecedented time right now. And so the need to, move closer to God cannot be overemphasized. You have to get closer to God and put him first in whatever you do. My prayer is just that the Lord have mercy on us and remove this plague from us. So yeah, that would be my prayer.